Are you still waiting for your real life to start? Do you keep telling yourself things will be different someday? I've made a lot of videos on this channel, but nothing hits quite like this gut-wrenching speech. Yukio Tonegawa is a brutally cold man, and at the time of this speech, he sits comfortably in his chair, watching over the brave man's road. The 10 men walking atop this narrow steel beam, hearts pounding in their chests, fueled by the promise of money at the other side, and a certain death beneath them. All for the entertainment of the ultra-rich who have grown bored with everything money can buy and watch on in curiosity. But this isn't about them, this is about you and everything you've been lying to yourself about and putting off. The men crossing the bridge changed their minds on the gamble they signed up for. They want to stop this and return to safety. But Tonegawa is disgusted by this. And he is a very cruel man, but when I first heard it, what he says next definitely gave me a much needed slap in the face. He looks over at them, ignoring their cries for help, and says, they're sick. They're not serious. They'll never wake up from this virtual reality. They live just for the sake of living, just wasting their time away. And then the important part. Despite getting older, they still think that their real lives have yet to begin. My real life hasn't started yet, I just haven't put in the effort yet, that's why my life is like this. They keep on telling themselves that until in the end, they die, and they realize, like it or not, that their life they'd been living up until now was the real one. Now, I'm not going to say what you're probably expecting me to, that this is some wake-up call to, never waste a moment, dive into 24/7 hustle culture, etc. Although there probably is, quite a lot of you who do feel like you're just wasting your days away and you wish you weren't. You've got some urge to create or start something, and it just gets buried beneath layers and layers of distraction, but continues to eat away at you, almost kind of begging you to actually start it. That was me for a very long time, and if that is you, then the message here is pretty clear. That is your real life, not the fantasy in your head of, one day I'm going to do that and I'll have this and that, and tomorrow I'll start doing this. No, your real life is what you did today and yesterday, and it will continue to be that unless you close this video and start right now. But I don't have much more to say on that, because if it does apply to you, then most of what I said probably popped into your head as I read out the speech anyway. But I think it's more than that. It's that difficulty in getting serious, because why is it so hard to do sometimes? When you know you need to do or change something and you just can't, right? When you know the consequences of doing or not doing something, and you still can't seem to get serious with this. I've had this with quite a few different things, and I think it simply boils down to knowing the consequences but not actually letting them hit you properly. The men atop the steel beams are mostly gambling addicts who drift through life going from one cheap pleasure to another, days full of distraction from their circumstances. But they can only keep you distracted for so long. Your problems don't feel as bad because you can numb yourself to them. You can keep yourself just comfortable enough to stop yourself feeling bad enough about them to actually try and solve them. If you're lonely, you'll maybe watch some YouTube or a streamer instead of going out and actually meeting people. If you're miserable, you just scroll through your phone instead of starting something that would make you proud of yourself. And if you want to start something, you'll just watch a bunch of YouTube videos on it to make yourself feel productive, and then not actually do it. This chapter came out almost 30 years ago, and I think it's safe to say that this problem has only gotten significantly worse with the advances in technology we've had. You didn't consciously choose to watch this video, you just opened YouTube, probably without thinking, and clicked this video, probably without thinking. And again, I don't think the solution is, hustle culture, work on something 24/7. I spoke about that in other videos, but it's almost certainly something that you wish you did this week. And I'm not pretending to be, above this at all. I think rewatching Kaiji and seeing this speech was a reminder for myself as well that if you've got some fantasy in your head about how one day it will be like this, it's not just gonna happen. So what you're living now is your real life. If you like it, cool. But If not, whilst I don't think hating yourself is the answer at all, it's time to put away the distractions and actually be honest with yourself about that. And honest with yourself about how you're spending your time, because trust me, I say this from experience, you will never get serious until you do.